Yo, what's poppin' Pokepals? Rare Boy here, and I'm back with another impossible Pokemon challenge. Today we're gonna find out if it's possible to beat Pokemon Ruby using only a black belt. In Pokemon Black and White 2, they introduced the Pokestar Studios, where players could act out movie scenes, and in doing so, you were granted some unique and, at times, odd Pokemon. After going on Bulbapedia, it appears that every unique Pokemon introduced in this manner has a base stat distribution of 100 across the board, meaning every Pokemon from the Pokestar Studio has the same stats as a mythical Pokemon, like Mew or Jirachi. With that said, that's why I chose the Black Belt, as it's not only the funniest Pokestar Pokemon, but also because it has the weakest moveset, only having access to fighting type moves, which makes sense. It also surprisingly has access to huge power, which will certainly make this challenge easy up until Phoebe. Before I can even begin this challenge, I first need to import the Black Belt sprite into our version of Pokemon Ruby. I actually made the back sprite myself, which is why it looks like garbage, since a Black Belt class has never had a back sprite before. Once the sprites are in the game, I then need to edit the game's internal data, so this once empty data now functions exactly like a Black Belt would. I code in its typing, base stats, huge power ability, and limited move pool. Now that our Black Belt is in our game, let's review the rules of the run. The first rule is that I'm only allowed to use the Black Belt in battle. We are allowed to capture other Pokemon for HM usage, but they cannot assist Black Belt by any other means. The second rule is that I'm not allowed to use items in battle. Held items such as leftovers are okay, but items such as X items or Hyper Potions are banned until the battle has ended. And finally, no glitches or exploits will be used to complete this game. It's just a normal playthrough of Pokemon Ruby, but with the Black Belt. With the rules explained and our Black Belt in game, let's jump into some gameplay. The first thing that I do is pick up our Black Belt from Professor Birch's bag. For this run, I replace Trico so May can have her infamous Torchic. I nickname our Karate Master Bruno, because why not? I take a look at his stats and he has a rash nature, which means more special attack but less special defense, which is not good. With Bruno now on our team though, it's time to conquer the Hoenn region. Straight away, I start training Bruno in attack and speed EVs, since those are going to be his two most important stats. I train off of the Wild Poochyena and Zigzagoons respectfully for their EVs. Once we've secured a major portion of our EV grinding, we take on Roxanne, and 2 Mach Punches were enough to defeat her team. I don't see this challenge becoming too difficult until probably Winona. Brawly time, and his Machop withstood a Mach Punch, which I'm surprised about. While Brawly healed him though, I tightened my focus and unleashed a Focus Punch to take him out. From there, Makuhito was a quick Mach Punch for the win. It's the infamous May fight time, and Combuskin managed to take a Mach Punch and retaliated with a crit peck for some good damage, but that was the only damage we sustained in this fight as we continue on. This just became my favorite challenge. Why, you may ask? Because we completely demolished my arch nemesis Watson on our first attempt using only one move. I like this guy Bruno. Well, Bruno finally found a worthy opponent in Maxie. His Mightyena not only has Intimidate, but his Golbat quad resists our attacks, and hits fairly hard with Stab Wing Attack. The only reason we won this fight was because we got a lucky crit with Jump Kick. Maxie is for sure going to be an issue in the future when his Golbat becomes a Crobat. After that worrisome fight against Maxie, we had a smooth match against Flannery, as the only attack she got off was Attract, but Bruno busted right through it. Norman's fight was actually kind of fun because I got to use Focus Punch for once while his Slackings were loafing around. I taunted both of them to ensure they wouldn't yawn me, but they wound up going for Facade instead, which we actually took fairly well. All in all, it was an easy fight, as I'm sure you predicted. One final May fight, but just like the last time, Bruno was just too much for her team to handle. Winona is next though, and she's the gym leader I feared the most. Well, it seems my fears were valid as Bruno finally goes down in this fight. Between Skarmory Sand attacks ruining our accuracy, and Pelipper's Protect and Supersonic shenanigans, we stood no chance in our current state. It's finally time we started getting some levels in this run. Back into this fight at level 50, and at this level we can successfully OHKO Skarmory, and I made sure to taunt Pelipper so he couldn't do his shenanigans. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I think Pelipper used Protect while taunted. Is that a mechanic in Gen 3, or did I just not notice she shook off the taunt? Anyways, Altaria wasted his time Dragon Dancing, so we finished him off with 2 Mach Punches. You would think I'd be nervous about Tate and Liza being Psychic-type experts and all, but their Celestial Rocks are, well, Rock types, so our Jump Kick did neutral damage for the one-shot. Moving right along then. Our final fight against Maxie had me nervous because of Crobat, but I played my cards right and landed a Focus Punch on Crobat while Maxie used a Super Potion to bring him down to red health. From there, Bruno was able to take him out with a Jump Kick, and Camerupt went down to 1 Jump Kick as well. Thank goodness. Last up in the Hoenn League is Wallace, and unfortunately he has an easy fight for Bruno. Seeking surprisingly survives a Mach Punch, but he couldn't take a Jump Kick, nor could Milotic. With that, we've obtained all 8 gym badges in the Hoenn region. I gotta say, Wally was a little problematic because half of his team resists fighting types, but once Gardevoir was down, Bruno handled the rest of his team pretty nicely. All that's left now is the Elite Four. Here we are just outside the Elite Four at level 57, and these stats are pretty good, as I suspected. The only Elite Four members who have me nervous are Drake and Phoebe because of our lackluster move coverage, but I think I have a solution for them, but I'm gonna need some more levels. Let's see if we can beat Pokemon Ruby using only a black belt. Okay, we're back at level 71, and these stats are much better. As you can see, I've completely depleted my PP on every move aside from Mach Punch, which only has 5 power points left, and you'll see why I did that. It's all a part of my master plan. Let's see if my preparations are enough to get us past Phoebe. First up in the Elite Four is Sydney, and as you would expect, he was super easy as we used our last 5 Mach Punches on his team to drop them. I actually made a slight mathematical miscalculation and forgot Absol has pressure, so we started struggling before the fight ended, but we still won. Now it's time for Phoebe. It's finally Phoebe time, and guess what? The struggle tactic worked on our first attempt. I honestly didn't know if it was gonna work or not, but I'm so thankful that it did. From here, it should hopefully be smooth sailing until we reach Drake and his Salamence. After using my 1 max elixir that I received from the Team Magma hideout, we took on Glacia, and as I'm sure you were expecting, she was by far our easiest opponent in the Elite Four thanks to all of her Pokemon being weak to fighting types. Drake's fight, on the other hand, was absolutely insane. I didn't want to use Jump Kick on Shelgon because I know he likes to protect, so I went for Mach Punch, which he survived in the red, and lowered our speed with Rock Tomb. As Drake healed Shelgon, I slammed him hard with Focus Punch for the knockout. Drake's first Flygon went down to 1 Jump Kick, and then came the real threat, Salamence. I got a Jump Kick off before he went up into the sky with Fly. While he was in the air, I tried to go for Focus Punch on the off chance that his Fly missed, but he didn't. No biggie. We rinsed and repeat those last couple of turns until Salamence went down, while we were in yellow health. Next out was Altaria, and I knew he'd survive a Jump Kick, but we wound up getting a crit to bypass the Intimidate and take him out. Nice! Last was Flygon, but because of the Intimidate, he survived our Jump Kick in the red and burned us with Flamethrower. I went for Focus Punch while Drake healed, and we were thankfully still strong enough to OHKO Flygon even with the burn. Now that was an intense fight. Thank you, Drake. It's finally time for the champion, Steven Stone. And this match was a little underwhelming. We managed to OHKO both Skarmory as well as Armaldo with Jump Kicks. Metagross came in next, and we took him to about half health with Mach Punch as he slammed us hard with Psychic. Then, we KO'd him with another Jump Kick. Next was the Claydol, who could have been a potential threat for us with Reflect, but thankfully he didn't go for it, and he doesn't have a Psychic type move to hit us with, so he landed a weak Earthquake. Last out was Aggron and Cradilly, both of which we handled nicely with Mach Punches. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. With this victory, we register a black belt into the Hoenn Hall of Fame and prove to the world that you can be a Pokemon master without even catching a single Pokemon. You just need to know some basic fighting techniques. I had a ton of fun doing this challenge. Between making the battle sprite and going through the Hoenn region with an actual person instead of a Pokemon, it was a really fun and unique challenge. While the commentary was a little lackluster due to the easy nature of this run, I know this is quite possibly the most unique challenge you've ever witnessed, and that's what I aspire to do on this channel, bring you guys content that no one else could ever fathom. I'm actually considering doing other RPG characters like Paper Mario in future runs. I'll just have to see how their stats translate into Pokemon. For our next challenge though, we're going to find out if we could beat Pokemon Silver using only a Hisuian Quillfish. So if you don't want to miss that video, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Also, be sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. In the comments section, I want to know what your favorite part of today's run was. This has been your boy Rare Boy, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace!
Red, white, and blue, yeah, I love this place.
Excuse me, did you just watch this video? You must have if you made it this far into the video. And yet you haven't liked, commented, shared, or subscribed. The Rare Boy working very hard on these videos. Please do the man a favor.